welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a world running dry. A world where rivers are drying up, fields turning to dust, and nations locked in battles over something as simple as clean water. Sounds like fiction? Let me take you through stories that might feel closer to reality than you think. Roughly half of the world's population faces severe water scarcity for at least part of the year, with climate change exacerbating droughts and reducing water availability. By 2022, 2.2 billion people lacked access to safely managed drinking water, underscoring persistent gaps in water security. In North Africa, home to 6.3% of the global population, holds only 1.4% of the world's renewable freshwater, making it one of the most water-stressed regions globally. Meet Ahmed, a farmer in Egypt who has worked the fertile banks of the Nile his entire life. For decades, he relied on the river to nourish his crops and feed his family. But lately things have changed. Upstream, Ethiopia completed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, drastically reducing the flow of water downstream. Now, Ahmed's once thriving farm is nothing but cracked earth. They took my river. Ahmed mutters bitterly one evening as he watches his last crop wither under relentless sun. What does this mean for millions like Ahmed? When upstream nations control shared rivers without equitable agreements, downstream communities face devastating consequences. Lost livelihoods, food insecurity, and rising poverty. And when desperation sets in, protests turn violent, escalating tensions between nations. This isn't just about farmers losing their land. It's about regional stability crumbling under the weight of water scarcity. Now meet Layla, a young mother fleeing her home in Iraq. Her village once thrived along the Tigris River, but years of upstream damming by Turkey and climate change dried up the water supply. Without water, there was no food, no work, and eventually no hope. So she packed what little they had and joined thousands of others seeking refuge in overcrowded cities. But even there, water is scarce. Every day, Layla waits in long lines at communal wells, praying there'll be enough to drink. One night, as Layla tucks her son into bed, she wonders aloud, will we ever find a place where water flows freely again? This story illustrates a growing crisis. Water scarcity drives mass migration, straining urban infrastructure and fueling social unrest. By 2030, nearly 460 million Africans could face water scarcity due to climate change. These displaced families aren't just statistics. They represent a humanitarian crisis waiting to explode if we don't address the root causes of water stress. Farther east, in South Asia, Captain Singh patrols the border between India and Pakistan. Once lush with greenery, the Indus River Valley is now a shadow of its former self. Decades of mismanagement and climate stress have pushed both nations to the brink of conflict. Singh knows better than anyone how fragile peace really is. Just last week, skirmishes broke out after accusations of illegal water diversion. As he scans the horizon, watching for movement, he reflects grimly. If war comes, it won't be fought with tanks or missiles. It'll be fought over every drop of water. Here's the issue. The Indus Waters Treaty, designed to manage shared resources, is under strain. Population growth and climate change are making existing agreements obsolete. Any breakdown could escalate into conflict between two nuclear-armed nations, threatening millions of lives. This isn't just a local dispute, it's a global security risk. Finally, picture Amina, a young girl living in sub-Saharan Africa. She spends hours each day fetching water from a distant well, often returning with barely enough to survive. Her greatest dream isn't toys or games, it's rain. Real, heavy rain that fills rivers and quenches the thirst of her parched homeland. One evening, as she sits atop a hill staring at the sky, she whispers, "Please come soon." Climate change has made rainfall unpredictable, leaving millions like Amina trapped in cycles of poverty and desperation. Yet despite everything, she holds on to hope, because without it, what else is there? The lesson here is stark. Water scarcity exacerbates inequality. Children like Amina bear the brunt of our failure to act. If we don't prioritize sustainable water management, future generations will inherit a world defined by scarcity, suffering, and instability. So what can you do? You might not have control over dams or treaties, but there's something powerful within your reach: your voice. Start by sharing stories like the ones we've explored today. Tell your friends, family, and especially children, about Ahmed the farmer who lost his river, Layla the mother searching for water, and Amina the girl dreaming of rain. Why does this matter? Because when kids hear these stories, they begin to understand how precious water is and how interconnected our world truly is. Imagine a classroom where students learn about water scarcity through tales of faraway lands, or create projects to conserve water in their own neighborhoods. These small moments plant seeds of empathy, responsibility, and action that grow into big changes over time. Remember, solving water scarcity isn't just about fixing leaks. It's about changing mindsets. So ask yourself, who will you share this story with today? Because every conversation counts, and every listener has the potential to become part of the solution. Thank you for tuning in. Stay informed, stay inspired, and until next time, take care.